Welcome back to part 3 of my lovely father teaching me how to make a copy of this chair.
This is the chair I made 20 years ago in Baltimore. It's a John Alexander design. I learnt a lot with him, and it's one of the finest type of greenwood chairs that I know. It's a very strong chair.
Good, well I hope mine will be strong. What I have successfully managed to do is make slats that are probably far too thin and will probably break. But aside from that, in this episode, we hope to get this thing entirely assembled and show you just how cool green woodworking and green woodworking techniques are, as if we do it right, we won't need a drop of glue. So as I understand, one of the key next steps is going to be making the mortise, i.e. the hole in which our slats are gonna go to our back legs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some measurements, get the location, and try and see if I can make a mortise. So I drilled a bunch of holes and I've then used a flat chisel, and I'm now going to use this. Now this is a relic that I made my father probably when I was 11 or 12, and I believe it's called a ferret. And because I can, I'm going to use it to pull out any of the dust and debris and clean up these holes as we go. And she worked quite well. Give it a pull and stuff is starting to come out. I used that flat chisel at first, and that's allowed me to have a clean line to go from. And you'll notice it sounds like I know what I'm talking about as I am making this wooden mortise. I actually don't. My father is not in the room, he is elsewhere, and so we're just trying to get stuck in and see if my vague memory or slightly transferable metalworking experience allows me to do a good enough job. I'm going to interrupt us to thank today's episode sponsor, which is Native and their line of aluminium and paraben-free deodorants that I've been using for about 1.5 years and I absolutely love. They've stocked me and the missus back up with some more deodorants. Her favorite is this cucumber and mint, incredibly fresh. The charcoal also smells fantastic. I know Jamie likes that. You can have that. Happy birthday. And my favorite is the citrus and herbal musk, and thank goodness I've got some more because I've just ran out. I'm using this stuff every day, and even after a long hot day by the forge, it keeps me feeling dry. It's not sticky. It allows me to feel fresh through the day. They've got a ton of scents available on their website. Their products are vegan friendly and cruelty free. You can even buy them in plastic free packaging, and Native sells a huge range of other self-care products too. You can save 33% on a 3-pack of Native deodorant by hitting my link in the description below. It's usually $36. With my link, it'll be $24, so please click that link. Let's get back into the workshop and keep working on this chair. Thank you, Native. All right, we got our mortises cut. For a rank amateur, I'm pretty pleased with myself. I'm now gonna take our back slats out of this jig. We'll trace the outline of the back slats we're copying onto the piece of paper, cut the back slats out on the bandsaw, pet the dog, and make sure they fit in the holes. Oh, look at that! It fits first time! That's not usual. Alrighty, it's another morning here. Another day of making progress to hopefully come. You've been making progress on your chair behind the scenes. You've been making your own chair.
I have, Alec, yes. Yes, I've been making a greenwood chair there just to get some practice because it's some time since I made one, some years.
How long has it actually been since you've made one?
I should think 5 years.
I feel very privileged that that you've come out of your greenwood retirement.
Yes.
To teach me how to make a greenwood chair.
I had to start making one before you arrived, just to get some practice.
So this is lovely. This is what you're working on, and you've done a dry assembly, is that correct?
Yeah, that is a dry assembly, yes.
So we'll get there soon.
Yes.
To be able to dry assemble though, I need to do a few more things today. So on the menu of tasks for me is I need to take my rear legs and I actually need to taper them down. So that's what I'm gonna do, taper those, and then also get some downwards taper on my front legs. right, the legs are all tapered and sanded up. My father's very kindly helped me with some of the sanding. We're just awaiting his return with some rungs. So how heavy were they at the beginning of the week?
They were 1,048.
Okie doke. And now, after having been dried?
After being dried for 5 days, 776. So they've lost a quarter of their weight, Alec.
All of that is moisture that has been dried out.
Yeah. And if you like it in pounds and ounces, it's from 2 pounds 5 ounces to 1 pound 11 ounces.
Lovely.
Which is about half a pound.
And so as we said at the beginning of the week, the drying of these rungs is the secret to all of this. We cut down this tree just a couple of weeks ago, which means that the legs, having not been dried, still have a much higher moisture content than the now dried rungs. So, we are going to make an interference fit on the tenons, which means that even right now, with the rungs dry, we're gonna have to force them into the hole, but then
the legs or posts dry and tighten up. The mortise therefore tightens up, and the rails or rungs take up moisture from the mortises and the legs, but also from the atmosphere, because they are dried below normal room humidity.
We've kind of artificially dried them more than they will be eventually.
As they take up this moisture, the result is a very, very tight, wonderful fit.
So in order for us to have an interference fit, we need to have a tenon that is oversized. Now we have an oversized tenon, but that's a little bit too oversized.
Therefore, we need to shave them down to the final dimension.
Here's the tool we're going to use to shave down the tenons. Super cool looking instrument. Oh, it's happening. We're squeezing it together. I'm an idiot. I knew I should have waited for my father to get back. Have a look at that. My front legs are now much too short. I'm an idiot. Look at that. I put the back rungs on the front legs. How stupid am I? As you can see, the legs that should have gone in there are much longer. This is probably a lesson that every child should have learnt a long time ago, certainly not at this point in his life, that listening to one's parent, or at least waiting for their advice, can be helpful. There we go.
Sounded good and final, didn't it?
18. Oh, I mean, come on, that thing's square as we could possibly imagine.
Yep. That's great, Alec. Well done.
Thank you. We got 1 of 4 sides all the way done. God, it feels remarkably strong too, doesn't it? Right, onto the rear legs. So we've got our back assembled, and we started looking like we were finding an issue when it didn't look like this component was going to be able to fit in. It looked like it was too short. And unfortunately, this top one doesn't at all, and this bottom one is hanging in there only barely. So I need to completely remake back slats from scratch, but I'll do that and pop them in once the whole rest of the chair is assembled. So for now, we're going to mark up and drill the holes for the rungs that are going to hold this front and back part of the chair together. We've got our holes drilled in front and back panels, and I'd like to show you that you plan out the holes so that you intersect the other tenon perpendicular to it, which is awesome because that means that the other tenon is locked in place by the one that we're about to insert. How good is that looking? It looks like a bloody chair. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to squeezing. So with the chair put together but missing the slats, it's time for me to split some more wood. out of the steam. There we go. And we bend it. We're onto the home stretch. My father is sanding up my new slats. I'm cutting down our front legs to length, and we're almost going to start the seating. You can see there's a ton of options for how one can do the seat. This is a hickory bark seat my father's made. This one has paper fiber, another fiber seat. This is elm bark.
Inner bark from elm.
The inner bark and elm, lovely. But we're doing ours from this shaker tape, this webbing material. Well, what do you think?
I think, Alec, you've made a most beautiful chair. Very fine components, and I really admired your skill and patience and how quickly you learned.
I appreciate it. Well, I'm incredibly grateful for your tutelage.
It's been
through this.
such fun.
What a fun week.
Yeah.
How rare and how special
I
that we get to spend a week working together on this.
I know, and I've learned a lot watching you.
Oh,
well
that
done.
makes me very happy. Thank you so
Well
much.
done.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Alec, and enjoy it.
Thank you.
The whole of your life.
I hope to. Hopefully it'll keep staying in one piece.
Yes, well, this one has.
For now, it occurred to me we haven't yet done a sit test. Mr. Steele, do the honors. Please don't break it. It'll be my own fault. Is it comfortable?
It's the most comfortable chair I have ever sat in.
Oh,
Well done, Alec.
well, thank you. I shall see you soon. Time for me to have a seat. Actually, this chair is freaking awesome. Well done. Good job, Crazy. High five. Touch. Yeah, touch. Good job. Crazy, touch. Ah, hello. Hello, doggo. Yes, is it a good chair? Is it a good chair? Big thank you again to Native for sponsoring this. Please check them out in the link below for 33% off your 3-pack of deodorants.